In this lesson, we'll be combining our puppet tool animation with our layer transformation. And so in our previous lessons, we were able to get a lot of really cool animation just using the puppet pen tool. And so now we're going to be combining that with actually transforming our layer. So one thing I should point out though is that we are using rasterized objects. And so these are all pixel based. These are not vector objects. And so you may have already known that just by looking at them, but in the next lesson we'll actually go over what you need to do if you are using either shape layers or vector. So let's get started with our spaceman, and we're gonna have our spaceman just kind of bouncing across our comp. And so let's get our select tool, and let's see here. Maybe he'll start about here. And so we'll just put him kind of in between where these two legs are. And well, actually, you know what? Let's have him kind of start way over here. So we'll have him maybe not completely off the scene, just kind of like lined up with the back of that spaceship. And we're going to open up his position and add a keyframe. And let's see. So we know that he's up and he's down at the 2-second mark. And so what we need to determine is how far he's going to go. And so he does this about 3 times. And so, you know, this would be 1, and then at the 4-second mark, and then is 2, and then at the 6-second mark, kind of jumps maybe just out of view. So now he should be. That looks pretty good. I think that's some decent ground covering. So what we need to do now is kind of go in the middle and just raise him up and give him some air. And so we'll go to that 3-second mark and give him some air. And then go to the 5-second mark, give him some air. There we go. So now what we should have is him jumping along just like he's in space. That's funny. Okay, and so we might even want to adjust these handles. So, you know, if you click and just grab these handles, because actually, you know what, we're going the wrong way. So when you jump, so he'll jump and then he'll come down a little bit harder than he will going up. And so let's adjust these little handles to be more realistic. There we go. Because he's going to stay in air just a little bit longer than it takes for him to come down. So now if you hit the RAM preview, and let's take a look at that. That looks great. Okay. Now let's move our spaceman ship, our spaceship. There we go. Okay, so let's open this up a little bit, and we are going to grab our ship, and we're going to parent the claw. We're going to parent the claw, the back leg, and the front leg, and the alien. We're going to parent them all to the ship. So, but you weren't actually able to see that. There it is. So now you can see they're all parented to the ship. So I selected all of them. And then when I said that they're parented, then that means that when I grab the ship, and I can now just move that around. Oh, I forgot the dome. The dome. Okay, dome will now also be parented to the ship. There it is. Okay, so now that I just have the ship selected, then everything moves with it. Very cool, huh? All right, so we're going to move this ship away. And, oops. I'm holding shift to kind of constrain my horizontal, or making sure that it doesn't move any up in vertical space. And so now I'm going to add a keyframe for the ship's position, and then I'm just going to, over time, just drag it off over there, chasing after the spaceman. So just as the spaceman is out of range, then the spaceship should have kind of caught up with him. So the spaceship just ends up just a little bit left of center, really, is what it should kind of look like. So let's see what we got. Claw, claw. So he's just out of range the whole time. I think it's pretty good. I think it looks great. So let's get a RAM preview of that. So maybe we need, so he's, let's go ahead and drag the position though. Let's drag it just out of view or just off of our timeline. So I think that works out a little bit better. He's gonna get him. Looks pretty good. All right, so now we have our spaceman jumping up. We have our spaceship coming after him. We've kind of combined all of those motions. So like, we didn't take a whole lot of time to like try and line up where these legs are moving, but we've actually done a really good job and it looks pretty realistic. So in our next lesson, we're going to work a little bit with continuously rasterizing, collapse transformations, and some vector shapes. And just what you need to be worrying about when you're using the Puppet tool with those items.